Hey everybody, Dr. Ben with Dr. Mitch here with Alpha Sports. Today we're going to be going over why do we get hurt? BRB.
All right guys, Dr. Mitch here. Like Dr. Ben said, we're going to be talking about why we get hurt. So why we get hurt? It comes down to what we do acute versus chronic workload ratio. In fancy terms, I know it's a lot, but in layman terms, what it means is we are doing too much too soon. And so what we're having is a big spike in our training load, and that's why we're getting hurt. And so let's dive deep into what this means. So we have our acute workload ratio. This is what we've been doing the past week or so. And then we have our chronic workload ratio. This is what we've been doing for the past month or more. So anytime we have this acute or what we've been doing in the past week really outweighing what our body is used to, this is when we get hurt. It's not the load that breaks us down, it is the load we're not prepared for. And so our goal here at Alpha is to make sure you are prepared for that load. So here's an example for you guys. Let's take a distance runner. Say we have a long distance runner who's really used to running about 5 miles a week across 2 days, maybe 3 days. So we have 5 miles in 1 week. They've been doing that for the past month or so. And then they decide, all right, I feel pretty good. I'm going to bump this up. But then they bump it up to 10 miles a week across 2 or 3 days. Going from 5 miles to 10 miles is honestly a really big jump, and that is double what they were used to. So creating this giant spike in workload is something the body's not used to, and this is what's going to leave us susceptible to injury. This is going to lead to a lot of discomfort while we run, low back pain, knee pain, hip pain, anything in between. And so our job here at Alpha is to make sure, one, we have you on the right track to how much you're going to be running and how to increase that, but we're also going to make sure that your body on a soft tissue and muscular level is ready to take that load. For our next example, let's talk about lifting in the gym. So say we're doing back squats or deadlifts, some of the most common. And say we're used to deadlifting around 300 pounds, and that's what we're used to. And all of a sudden we want to jump up and make this massive jump, and now we're saying let's start deadlifting 400 pounds. Obviously, that's a big jump, something your body's definitely not used to. And so let's put this into calculation purposes and help you decide how much you should be doing whenever you're increasing your workload. When we think about it from a ratio standpoint, our sweet spot is 0.8 to 1.3, and anytime we get into 1.5, that is what we call our danger zone. So in reality, if we're doing 1.5 more times than what we're used to, this is where things get a little hairy. So if we think back to our example, so if that runner is used to running 5 miles a week and then jumps up to 10, this is twice as much as they are used to. So if we consider 1.5 as our danger zone, that means the maximum before that danger zone they should be running now from 5 up to 7.5 miles a week. If we stay somewhere below 7.5 and say they just jump from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7, now we're doing okay and we're out of that danger zone and we should be away from any type of injury or susceptibility to injury. And say we take that deadlift into scenario, 300 pounds, we do not need to be jumping up to 400, all right? What we need to do, that's above, that is about 33%, so that's 1.33, that's out of our 0.8 to 1.3 range, so let's just bring it down a little bit and stay under the 400s and just make sure we're being smart with increasing that weight. All right, so whether you're a runner or a lifter or anything else, this applies to you. So we're talking baseball player, volleyball, weekend warrior, camp gladiator, whatever it is, this applies to you. If you feel like your body's really taking a beating, take a look at your recovery first. Are you recovering great? Are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? Are you taking time to deload your body? And if you're doing really well with recovery, but you're still feeling like your body's injured or hurt or just kind of going through some nagging pains, now we need to take a look at that training load. Do you have a sudden increase, right? Are you used to doing this? Take a look back and see if you've made a jump in your training, and if that could be it, maybe we need to back off. That's why we have that range, right? From 0.8 to 1.3. Maybe you're someone that needs to fall more closer to 1, or maybe you can jump up to that higher range. But the biggest thing is take a look back at your training, see if you've had any big changes, and then go from there. So take those tools we talked about today, apply it to yourself, and go forth, become an alpha.